Good morning, everyone. I'm going to be a little quiet in my speech today because my fiance is sleeping in the other room, so I'm just respecting that. So don't worry about my voice being quiet today. That's just what it is. It's nothing weird. Or nothing wrong, I should say. What I'm guided to do today is a reading called Do I Need to Protect Myself from Negative Energy? Okay, a lot of people ask me about that when I do Reiki. How do you protect yourself? And a lot of people ask me how to protect themselves from negative energy. And it is true that when you open yourself up to energy work or to spiritual work, you know, you can open yourself up to both negative and positive energies. And some people experience some things that they don't like, obviously, when it's perceived as negative. So I'm going to ask the spirit guides to give us some advice today on that. So it's not a pick a pile. This is a question for everyone to seek answers to. So I'm just going to get my cards here. So hopefully you can hear me still. And I'm going to see which guide wants to speak to us. That's the first step. Who wants to speak to us about this? Who wants to answer this question? And then we're going to see what they have to say. Now, there are several ways to protect yourself from negative energies, and I'll tell you my method at the end of the video after we hear from the guides. But and maybe they're going to guide us to doing something as well. So I'm just going to get started here. I'm going to open the energy quietly. And we'll ask the question, do we need to protect ourselves from negative energies, especially while we're doing spiritual work and connecting with the spirit world? Okay. Now I'm going to see which deck we are going to use today. It's not that one. And it's not that one. It is this one, okay? So let me place these cards out in a row here. Sometimes it's in 2 rows and sometimes it's in 1 row. I don't know why exactly, and I just don't question it usually. But I'm just noticing it right now. So at some point they'll probably let me know why. Okay, not that card, not that card, not that card, not that card, not that card. Okay, so yeah, it is that card. Interesting. Okay. And let's see. Okay, it's our family. So our family, our past loved ones, our ancestors, they want to help us understand this, and they want to answer the question. Okay, so I get the spirit message cards. So I will get those cards. And I'm going to shuffle them in here. So let me shuffle the spirit message cards and see what our family members, past loved ones, ancestors, have to say. And this makes sense because I think I've talked about this before. Past loved ones, ancestors, they are usually on a different level than the ascended masters and the angelic realms, the archangels, and they can connect to us more, and they know more about the earthly experience. So it makes sense that they're the ones answering. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm realizing. Okay, soul power. Always remember, you're a soul that comes with a body, not a body that comes with a soul. Your soul is your true essence, and you have an unlimited supply of soul power at your command whenever you need it. Okay, so just as I was speaking about that, our ancestors have experienced being in a body where sometimes, well, the ascended masters do, the archangels not necessarily, but our the Ascended Masters tended to have their gifts wide open when they were in their body. So, our family members, our ancestors are the most, the ones that can relate most to our experience here, okay? So that's why they're answering this question. And they're reminding us that we're a soul that comes with a body, not a body that comes with a soul. Okay, being on this plane, we tend to think of ourselves as the physical being that we are, and we have a soul or a spirit, right? But they're saying, no, you're a soul living in a physical body. Okay, and they want you to remember that, and that you have soul power. Your true essence is your soul, and you have an unlimited supply of soul power at your command whenever you need it. So what this says to me when I read this, and they're telling me things to say, is that there's nothing to fear. That's what they want to tell us with this. There is nothing to fear, okay? Negative and positive, darkness and light, fear and love, lack and abundance. Those are the dualities of the physical world, and we choose. We choose which one we want to experience. And I know that you might say, well, I've experienced some negatives that I didn't choose consciously, and you don't maybe think you chose them subconsciously. So sometimes a negative experience or a negative manifestation is the result of a different choice that you made, that you might not relate to that manifestation. So, for instance, if you choose to self-sacrifice on an ongoing basis, you may develop a disease that disables you or debilitates you in some way so that you can't continue to self-sacrifice and you can't continue to be the person taking care of everybody, right? So you have to stop doing that and examine that choice and face that choice and understand that choice and shift that choice and allow others to take care of you and to not always be, you self-sacrificing, taking care of others. That's an example, right? So where you might not understand that the choice you made over here ended up manifesting as this negative experience over here, okay? So they want you to understand that you are a soul with unlimited soul power that is at your command whenever you need it, okay? And that these dualities that we experience are purely a result of our choice, okay? So you can choose, okay, negativity or positivity. You can choose darkness or light. You can choose fear or love. You can choose lack or abundance, right? And they want you to understand this power that you have to choose, okay? So what I keep hearing here is there's nothing to fear. There's no reason to fear negativity, darkness, lack, any of those things. They are simply choices, and they can be shifted at any time. You can choose differently at any time. You have the power. You have all of the power within you to do that, okay? However, how do you do that sometimes? Sometimes we need physical things. So the act of protection rituals is, again, just making our choice clear. So one of the things I do whenever I, feel like, when someone comes to me for Reiki or whatever, and they said that they have negative energies around them, they feel or whatever, I will, do some sort of cleansing ritual. So whether it's opening a window to allow, the light in, opening the blinds and opening the window to allow the fresh air and the sunlight in to cleanse the room, or whether it's putting a candle, lighting a candle for the light of the candle, the white light, to work and cleanse the room, whether it's burning sage, whether it's burning cinnamon, whether it's burning lavender, whatever it might be. There's many things, whether it's cleansing with water, having a Epsom salt bath myself, cleansing, the room by spraying salt water in the room. Whatever the cleansing ritual is, that's fine. And that is an active display of your choice to choose the positive versus the negative, the light versus the dark, okay? So what I often say when I'm doing that kind of thing is I say, if there are any energies that are not of the light. You can choose to go to the light, or you can choose to go elsewhere, but you can't stay here. It's kind of like closing down a bar. If you've been to a bar, you've heard the people say that, it's closing time and you can go home or go elsewhere. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. That's what they say. So anyways, so it's kind of like that. I say you can choose to go to the light, or you can go elsewhere, but you can't stay here, because this space is a space of light. Light, love, wisdom, and joy. Universal light, love, wisdom, and joy. That's my choice. And as much as I respect your choice to, be the opposite of that, if that's what you're choosing, I require you, or I ask you to respect my choice. And we have free will. And that's the thing. We have free will. So it's all about respecting each other's choices, whether you understand them or not, accepting, allowing, forgiving, and trusting that they belong, and unconditionally loving all of the choices that exist, right? So that's kind of the process that I go through to protect, quote unquote, protect myself. I don't see it as protection as much as voicing my choice, right? In both the verbal and physical way. And I know that I'm protected by my spirit guides. And the other thing is, the more you raise your vibration, okay, the more you do energy work or Reiki or pray or meditate or, whatever it is that you do to connect with your spirits, your spirit team that is of light. I always make sure that I qualify that. I'm inviting my spirit team that is of light, love, and wisdom and joy, universal love, light, and wisdom, and joy, to join me when I'm doing that kind of work. And the more that you raise your vibration, the harder it is for darkness or negativity or whatever you want to call it to cling to you. So, or to bring your vibration back down. Some of the things that bring our vibration down is when we, have arguments, disagreements, and etc., because we go into that emotional state and into that negativity and etc. So when you're finding yourself going there a lot, maybe it's time for a Reiki session, a meditation, a walk in the woods, a prayer, a visit to your church, whatever it might be that raises your vibration, okay? And but know that you are surrounded by light, and it's simply a choice to surround yourself by light, okay? And to open yourself to seeing the light, to experiencing the light, and to make the choice of being in the light fully and completely at all times. It's your choice, okay? What else do they want to tell us? What else do they want to tell us? I just kind of went off there a little bit. Like, by off, I mean, I spoke a lot, which is what they wanted me to do, so it's okay. But I want to hear if they have anything else that they want to do, any other cards that they want me to pull. Yeah, okay, one from the gold. Ooh. Wow, that kind of made a big... okay, that kind of made a big scene. Okay, one from the gold. We just want one, so they're asking me to cut the deck so that, because there's all kinds of cards trying to pop out. There's a lot. A lot of our families that are trying, here it is, that's the card. A lot of our families members are trying to connect. They all have something to say, but we want one, what's the word? We use it in business a lot, like one, we ask people to give their feedback this way, like to put it all together, and I can't think of the word right now, but consolidated, that's the word. One consolidated message from them, from one card. So I'm here to cut the cards now. Okay, and we look at these messages. So there's one from the Sun deck, and there's one from the Moon deck, okay? And, theoretically, we say that this is the Sun and the Moon, and this represents light, and this represents darkness, although the Moon, because the Moon absorbs and reflects the Sun, doesn't have light, it doesn't, it's not the source of light itself, right? But it can still reflect it, it can still choose it, it can still allow it, and it still does provide light for us in the midst of darkness, right? And so yeah, so neither one is wrong, is what we're calling our attention to right now. So let's see what the Sun card says. Oh, look at that, the High Priestess. So funny enough, the sun is known as the male energy, but we have the high priestess here, which is the divine female, right? Okay, and then let me see what this card is. Oh, and look at that. Clarity, third eye wide open. This is all about clarity and focus, okay, and opportunities for you to be very clear and focused and have your third eye open. So opportunities for you to be this high priestess, okay, who knows, and her intuition is wide open and she can balance. Look at the duality there. The number 2 represents the duality in this physical world, and this represents the duality that she's juggling here and balancing here. So she's in perfect balance, you know, light on this side, darkness on this side. The moon is what's representing her intuition. The moon does, it represents the divine feminine, it represents the receiving, it represents the intuition, you know, but she does have the duality, right? So this is understanding the duality of the world, like we were just talking about. That's what they want to say. So we're on point. This is a validation for me that I'm speaking, you know, what they want me to speak, and understanding that the world exists in this duality, and when you can understand that and balance it and go juggle between it and whatever, and understand your choice, and that is purely your choice, you'll be this high priestess and you'll have this clarity and focus, okay? And you'll be able to understand that really, ultimately, there's no need for protection, because all the power is within you, okay? You have all the power that you need at your command at any time, and it's simply about making choices, okay, between the two, whatever exists in this physical world, okay? So is there anything else that they want me to speak of? Oh, they want me to speak of these. Okay, so, you know, this is black tourmaline, this is black obsidian, and this is black kyanite. All of these crystals help with, you know, if you're feeling like you're making the choice to experience negative energy a lot and you don't understand why and you don't understand how or whatever, you know, these crystals can help you with that. They can absorb that negativity that you're attracting to yourself and help you see what it is that is doing the attracting, what choices you're making that is doing the attracting of the negativity. So they just want me to mention about that's another way, okay, to I don't want to say protect yourself as much as another way to manage to manage the choices you're making, to understand and manage the choices that you're making, when sometimes you're making choices at a subconscious level that you aren't even aware of, that you haven't brought to the surface yet, that you don't even maybe you're not ready to know consciously, okay, but you want to shift because you're exhausted, tired, whatever it is, you know, feeling like you're on this unending loop of negativity, you know, downward spiral, right? Because we want to spiral upward. I mean, even that's a judgment, right? Downward, I'm judging as negative, and upward as positive. For some people, might be the opposite, right? Who knows? So it's all perception and it's all choice. That's what they're trying to say with this, okay? So the best way to quote unquote protect yourself or whatever is to understand this choice between the dualities that we have that exist in this physical world, and to understand that the duality exists and neither side is wrong. It's all perception. What you perceive is right or wrong. And what we agree is right or wrong is how we function in a society. But ultimately, you know, some people might think spiraling down is a great thing. Some people think spiraling up is a good thing, right? So that's what I mean by it's perception and it's choice, right? It's your choice. And, you know, when we make choices wrong, when we make this duality wrong, that's when the part that we're making wrong is going to show up more and more and more. And that's why my attention was drawn to these crystals here. And so, you know, you kind of have to uncover all of your thoughts on what's wrong, and, you know, then go through that process of choosing to allow it, forgive it, trust it, love it unconditionally, and then release it. Because release those judgments, okay? Because what you judge, what you deny, what you reject, it's going to keep showing up and asking you to love it and accept it and understand it. Because sometimes we need to understand in order to accept, unfortunately, as human beings. That's some, when you get to a place where you don't need to understand and you can just accept, that's a great place to be. But a lot of us, we have to walk a mile in someone's shoes to understand them and accept them and forgive them and allow them, right? So the more that you reject something, deny it, refuse to forgive it, refuse to allow it, the more it's going to pester you is the word I'm going to use, okay? So if you're feeling pestered by negative energies, that's something you need to know is that, you need to, some people say, just shout at them and be very firm and aggressive and stuff. And that works to some degree. I'm not going to say it doesn't work at all, but, it's about love. Unconditional love, okay? So yelling at it isn't really coming from a place of unconditional love for all right? And allowing all to exist in this physical world. And I know that's tough, and I know it's really tough, and you're going to have face some hard questions when you start to go down this path. Is this allowed? Is that allowed? Is this okay? Is that okay? I can't accept that. I can't allow that. I can't forgive this. I can't love that unconditionally. There's going to be a lot of that, okay? So that's why you need some of these rituals, okay, to help you when you're going through those processes. That's this protection that people talk about, to protect you from, going into a very dark place when you're going through some of these uncovering, digging up of, all of these judgments you have, right? Because we all have them. All right, is there anything else that they want me to express, talk about, shuffle, know, understand? Okay, I'm being drawn to these cards now, which are the Archangel cards. So an Archangel wants to make itself known now. That's going to help us with this understanding, help us with this shift, help us with all of this. Our family's helping us, as I mentioned. But oh, look at that. Wow. Metatron. Metatron is like the grandfather of archangels. He's like the dude, okay? So that's amazing that he wants to make himself known and that he is here for us, helping us understand this, helping us, process this and do this. So I just want to look, he's ancient wisdom. Okay, he's ancient wisdom. That's what he represents. He also represents, he's known as God's voice. And what he is saying, this card is saying to us, is you are crowned with the light of source because you are the divine incarnate. Okay, so I got to say that again because I was reading it. But you are crowned with the light of source because you are the divine incarnate. So that's what I was saying. This is what this card is saying. You are a soul that comes with a body. You are the divine, which is the soul, incarnate, which comes with a body, okay? Walk upon the earth as an angel, and life shall conspire to lift you up. Okay, so that's what I was talking about. Walk upon the earth like an angel. That's as an angel. That's the loving, the unconditional loving. The more you can walk upon this earth in a place of loving all unconditionally, the more life shall conspire to lift you up, is what he is saying. Wisdom is available to those who truly follow the integrity of their heart. That's what this is saying. Your soul is your true essence, and you have an unlimited supply of soul power at your command whenever you need it, okay? So that's very in line with what this card is saying to us. So, yeah. It's, so follow the integrity of heart. Right? So wisdom is available to those who truly follow the integrity of their heart. So that means when you can truly follow the integrity of your heart, which tells you to love. That's what your heart does. It tells you to love all unconditionally, right? And when you do that, the wisdom will be available to you, okay? All of the wisdom you need to do whatever it is that you feel you need to do in this world, okay? So that's what Metatron wants to share with you. Is there anything else that wants to be shared? Yeah, there is. So this deck wants to reveal something to us now. This is the last thing to complete this reading. If you made it this far, that's great. You'll get the complete reading. Okay, what is it? Okay, here, cut the deck, okay? All right, so it's this card on top. Yep. Look at that, angel of love. Ugh, couldn't be more perfect. So it's all about love. It's all about love. When you can unconditionally love everything that exists in this world and understand that it's, you know, you don't, just because, and I always say this, so I want to make sure that I say this, again, I say this when I'm telling people how to cleanse the area from negativity when they are experiencing negativity. And I tell them, you know, we all have loved ones, you know, family members or friends that we love, and we love them unconditionally. But sometimes we just don't want to hang out with them. They're just not our cup of tea. And that's your choice. You have that choice. You're allowed to do that, to choose to not hang out with them, even though you love them as much as you love them, right? So it's the same with these dark energies, right? Whatever exists that you perceive as negative, you know, love it, forgive it, allow it, love it unconditionally, but you don't have to hang out with it, okay? So, but it'll keep knocking on your door if you're rejecting it, just like that loved one will. They'll be knocking on your door constantly if you're rejecting them because they feel rejected and they need your love. They want your love. They're like, I want you to love me, accept me, allow me. Right? So it's the same thing. So when you say, you know, you treat them with love, because if you treat them with, you know, anger, blame, rejection, etc., denial, whatever it is, they're going to keep coming back looking for that love. But if you treat them with love, they'll be satisfied and they won't feel the need to pester you for your love, right? But that doesn't mean you have to spend every waking moment with them, right? You can choose when you spend time with them and when you don't. And if you never want to spend time with them, you can choose that. Once they feel loved, they won't be bothering you for it. You know, if they, you know, some people do get addicted to the feeling of love, but that's where boundaries come in and your ability to say no and etc., right? So, but do it from a loving place. Do it from that integrity in your heart. And when you're walking the earth as an angel, okay, truly, what did he say? Truly acting from the integrity of your heart, which is from a loving place, is what he's saying here. You will be lifted up. Life will conspire to lift you up. So, you know, the experiences that you need to be in a place of love, light, wisdom, and joy will come to you. And the ones that are not what you need in order to be in that place will fall away. Okay, if that makes sense to you, that's what I have for you with this reading. I hope it really helps you. I hope it resonates. And yeah, thanks for joining me today. You go have a beautiful, lovely day filled with love, light, wisdom, and joy. Okay, that's my wish for you and for all. Okay, bye-bye.